Deliciously with Ara. Today we're gonna make sangchu GEOT JEORI. To subscribe and like. So GEOT JEORI basically means parang minadaling, it's like sort of like a tossed vegetables on a chili powder based sauce. Very simple. So I have your lettuce, onions, and spring onions. However, what you can also add in here is like cucumbers or any other kinds of vegetables that we can eat just fresh. That's great partner for this GEOT JEORI recipe. And some spring onions, some leeks I mean. Now for our paste, the sauce is gonna be mostly sugar, soy sauce, our vinegar, our patis, and our garlic, chili powder, and of course, a little touch of our ginger. So this is like almost like a 5-minute recipe. All you just have to do is like toss it, and then before it's time to eat it, just serve it right away. Ganun kadali talaga. Now for the lettuce I have here, you can use any kinds of lettuce or any kinds of greens actually na pwedeng kainin na raw. Instead of using knife, I like to just tear it apart. So I'm just gonna, I have here like 1/2 kilos of lettuce, but whatever amount is fine. So just after having it thoroughly rinsed, just tear it, siguro like around 1 inch. Parang bite-sized lang. And for something na malalapat, we'll just tear it on the center. I think the longest time it takes is really washing your vegetables. Ganun talaga kadali. Now I have here already my lettuce aside. Now let's prepare our sauce. It's a very simple ratio to remember. So 1 sugar, just remember the ratio. Vinegar, any kinds of vinegar is fine. Even apple cider vinegar is fine. Patis. Now, if you're like a vegetarian option, like if you are vegetarian, you don't want patis, you can omit to have no patis at all. And I have here 1 minced garlic. So lahat sila 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So let's mix it like haluin lang natin. And then 2 toyo. And double ng toyo is our chili powder. So super madali ang ating pagtanda ng ratio. And for the chili powder, it really takes time para medyo parang nagme-melt ang kanyang chili powder and yung totoong color niya talaga lumalabas. So as you can see, medyo magiging pasty siya ng konti. It's totally fine. Let's give it a little time para medyo mag-melt ang kanyang chili powder. Habang hinihintay ko siya, let's already chop off our leeks. So I have here my leeks. I'm gonna just like really thinly cut lang. Siguro around 2 tablespoons of my leeks just for an added flavor. So not so much dahil gumagamit naman ako ng spring onion. And then also my ginger. This is a secret touch I do, like a very slight touch lang, pero konting-konti lang. And I prefer to use my spoon to peel off my ginger. So I have here siguro parang konting touch lang, around 1/2 teaspoon almost. And then we're just gonna slice, like chop it ng maliliit. Now, if you have ginger powder, you can use like double of your fresh, which is around 1 whole teaspoon. So 1/2 teaspoon ng ating ginger, and let's still mix our sauce. And as you can see, medyo parang paste. And then my onions, I'm probably gonna use just 1/2 lang. It's really up to you how much you want to use it. Now, kung hindi kayo mahilig doon sa spiciness ng onion, what you can do is after you chop them off, slice it off, pwede nyo siya ibabad sa cold ice water for like around 10 minutes. What the cold water will do is tatanggalin niya yung parang zing ng ating onion. And when you eat it as fresh, it's not gonna be as spicy as it typically would be. But because I love the spiciness of my onions, I'm gonna add it my whole. Pero make sure yung kanyang ulo is separated para hindi siya dikit-dikit. If you have like a mortar and a pestle, I want to add in my sesame seeds. Pero instead of using the whole, especially when you're using it for like a sauce or like a dressing like this, it's better really to like idikdik natin ng konti. So I'm just gonna, cause when you parang dinidikdik natin ng ating roasted sesame, it gives another layer of lahat na parang it's very rich in its aroma. So it's very generous amount. This is around 2 tablespoons of my sesame seeds na ididikdik natin siya with a small mortar that you have. But don't grind it too much kasi or else magiging parang pasty na siya almost. What I just want to do is like parang in a half. You know, like when you go to like a Japanese tonkatsu place, parang binibigyan kayo na like this just to like roast your, parang didikdik yung ating sesame seeds. Actually, the thing is, yeah, it becomes like parang medyo konting powdery but not so much. So I'm gonna add this one. Diretso na sa aking sesame seeds sa ating lettuce. Now, I'm gonna add in my spring onions. This is optional. Kung ayaw nyo ng manghang, hindi kailangan i-add. But if you are like me, na you really challenge yourself to eat spicy, then fine. This is around parang isang kamay ng ating spring onions. I'm just gonna add a little bit. Stay tuned! And because I think my mixing bowl is a little small, what I'm gonna do is half ko lang talaga siya para I'm not gonna have a hard time mixing everything. So sige, like half lang. Yeah, so a handful of my lettuce and all my ingredients, I'm gonna add in my dressing that I made. A little pasty, pero kaya yan i-mix. And then, if you're gonna eat this right away, already you can add in your sesame oil. But if you're gonna eat it for like a later storage, better not to add sesame oil. Siguro ilagay niya lang natin na konting drips, like when you're serving it already. So I'm gonna add like a very generous amount, siguro around 1 to 2 tablespoons of my sesame oil. And then we're gonna give it a slight toss. But it's hard to use your utensils. I'm just gonna use my hands. Whatever you prefer is fine. Gently coat all your vegetables with your dressing. Now, when you're gonna mix your vegetables, make sure hindi nyo talaga pipigain ng pipigain. Because sometimes when you like pinipika natin ng vegetables ng too much, parang medyo lumalabas ang konting, parang it's not very, hindi na siya masyadong masarap. And there's also this distinctive parang smell of the vegetables na lumalabas, which some people don't prefer it. A good vegetable to add here is really the cucumbers or like sometimes singkamas. I actually like adding singkamas during summertime. And as you can see, medyo nakukoat na evenly ang ating lettuce. I'm gonna add the whole remaining batch na rin. So as simple as this, as long as you have already coated evenly, I'm gonna already serve it on my bowl. This is a great summer dish. You don't need fire, you don't need anything basically. All you just need is fresh vegetables. And before we serve it, I'm gonna just like sprinkle a little bit of my sesame seed. It's super masarap. Tada! Here is my sangchu got-jeori. As you've seen, super madali lang. And by the way, if you're gonna mix it, kanina na yung haluin natin yung ating lettuce with our sauce, make sure if it's chili powder to always wear gloves dahil napakaanghang yan sa kamay. So hope you enjoy my recipe. See you next time. Bye!